everybody. All right. You like that intro? Well, you just saw the movie Prey. No, just kidding. Prey is better than my intro. All right, let's get into this. I'm probably going to talk spoilers. So, run away if you don't want to know anything about the movie. Come back after seeing the movie and let's talk about it in the comments. So, a couple of years ago, Disney bought Fox, and we thought that was going to be a good thing because we wanted the X-Men and the Fantastic Four in the Disney MCU, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And we're still waiting for that to happen. Okay? When Disney bought Fox, they also bought the Alien and Predator franchises. And this is the very first Predator movie under Disney. And it's on Hulu. It's not released in the theaters. So how is it? Well, it's fine, but probably forgettable. All right, so I'm going to cover Who Lives and Dies. I'm going to cover this thing that attaches this movie to another Predator movie we got in the past. So if you don't want to know that, that's what's coming at you. And please come back and we'll talk about it. So actor Amber Midthunder plays Naru, a Comanche Native American from 300 years ago. And why didn't they use her real name, Amber Midthunder? That is a badass name. They just made her Naru nothing. Should have gone with her real name. That's a badass name. Anyway, Naru, or Rey Skywalker, because she's good at everything, she does not want to forage for plants. She wants to hunt with the men, but the men don't want her to hunt. But because Naru does not listen, we have a plot. And because Naru does not listen nor obey, she gets half the tribe murdered. All right, so this movie starts off with Naru in the woods practicing with her throwing axe. She's training. She's with her dog. I love this dog. I was rooting for this dog throughout the whole movie. Dog's my favorite character. We meet her brother Tabe, and so Naru wants to hunt and join the boys in the hunt. And, even the women ask her, why do you want to hunt? And then she answers them, because you all think I can't. So right away, yeah, this film has got 2022 politics all over it, with a young lady who is going to be good at everything and, skirts the rules. I think the movie would have been better served if we had a realistic version of the roles back in a Comanche tribe 300 years ago. And we could have really, you could have invested in the tension between her dad, who we never meet her dad. I don't know who her dad is, but maybe it's, her struggle with foraging versus hunting and something real, something genuine there. Instead, she wants to hunt. They don't want her to hunt, and she's going to hunt anyway, and everyone goes, okay, and she's better than all the boys. All right, in about 20 minutes into this film, you're going to see a ship, a Predator ship, and a Predator landing. They show him a little bit, but I'm thinking they could have kept him a lot more mysterious. I think they showed him too much in the beginning. Just a minor gripe. So what happens here is a tribesman from Naru's tribe goes missing, and the men gather to go hunt for him. And Naru wants to join this little hunt. And there's objections, but Naru's brother says, hey, listen, she's the best tracker. She's the best medic. She should come. And they're all like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess that's true. So she should come. And they do find the tribesman. He's out in the woods. He's kind of cut up and sliced up. At first, I thought it was the Predator, but now I'm thinking about it. I think it was a mountain lion that cut him up. And Naru bosses the guys around and tells them what to do and then fixes them up. And they are going to carry this tribesman back to the tribe. But Naru's brother stays behind and is going to go hunt this lion. And Naru also leaves and follows her brother to go and hunt this lion. All right, so Naru is on this tree branch with another of her tribe's people, and they're waiting for this lion. And this lion does jump up and grab the tribesman and basically kills him and knocks her to the ground, and she passes out. So she fails. She wakes up back at the camp, back at the tribe, and her brother comes walking in with a dead lion, and everyone in the tribe is happy and celebrating, but Naru is not a very good sister. She's very upset and salty and pouting because she wasn't a part of it. She didn't have her glory. Typical. In fact, she tells her brother, it's not a lion. I saw something in the sky, the Thunderbird. There's something else out there. And her brother says, you tried, sister. but you didn't bring it home. So the next day, Naru is sent back to foraging, picking up sweet potatoes. And she does that for 5 minutes, and then she disobeys everybody and runs out in the woods with her dog, looking for this monster in the woods that she believes is there. It's not bothering her tribe at all. If she just would have left everything alone, I don't think we would have had a movie, because the predator was really hunting animals at this point. But she's out in the woods with her dog overnight. I'm sure everyone back at the camp is worried about her. And she does attach a string to her throwing axe. So yeah, she's improving her weapons. She's upgrading her gear. And walking around the woods, misbehaving and disobeying, she's going to fall into quicksand. How come it's not called slow sand? It's never quick. It's always slow. She's going to fall into the quicksand. So it's a good thing 5 minutes earlier she attached that string to her axe so she could get out of there. And then she's going to fail again by upsetting a bear, and a pretty ferocious bear. It looked pretty good, coming after her and her dog, and it's just coming after her, and then the predator comes and sort of saves her. And it was a pretty good scene, because you have this like physical hand-to-hand fight between a predator and a bear. Kind of bloody, kind of good. So after the predator saves her, though, the predator is aware of Miss Naru, so she's on his radar. So after this bear attack, some of her tribesmen, the male tribesmen, do catch up with Naru and say, listen, you got to come back. What are you doing? You're disobeying. Get your ass back to camp. And she doesn't want to. And so she ends up like fighting two of them and kicking their ass. And this is where I'm like, I don't know about this. I don't know if Naru can like go hand to hand with these Indian warriors and hold her own. The Indian warriors are a little nerfed. We're not talking last of the Mohicans here. This is a different tribe, this Comanche tribe. I don't know what's up with it. So it takes about two of them to restrain her and tie her up, basically. And then the predator sees this confrontation and is attracted to it and shows up and basically kills all the male Indians that are trying to save Naru. There is a point where she runs into another male Indian, and she even sees the laser dots on his head. She sort of knocks him out of the way, so she's aware of the laser targeting system. That's going to come into play at the end of the movie, but basically she gets all her tribesmen killed. All right, Naru just running away into more trouble. She runs into these French fur trappers who take her prisoner, take her back to their camp. They have her brother captured in a little crate, and there's a nicer trapper named Raphael who comes up to Naru in the crate and says, tell us what you know. They're sort of aware of the predator out there, so they want to know what they know, but Naru sort of blows them off, but he tried to be nice. So the next morning, these trappers tie Naru and her brother up to this pole. They're going to use them as bait for the predator, and so they're all kind of watching the pole with their muskets, going to use them as bait. While they're tied up on the pole, Naru's brother confesses to Naru that, hey, that lion I took all the credit for? Actually, before you passed out, you did injure the lion, and I just kind of came and cleaned things up. So I basically took all the credit for you almost killing the lion. So we have a confession there of a man taking credit for a woman's hard work. Naru then says, hey, listen, we can't kill this thing. I mean, the most I've done to it is make it bleed. And where Naru's brother will say, if it bleeds, we can kill it. All right, and this movie's really going to pick up when you have these trappers waiting to spring the trap on the predator. The predator, he's not going to have any of that. And this predator just drops right down, goes hand to hand with everybody. And so he's slaughtering all these trappers. And it's pretty cool. It's good action. I mean, they're getting absolutely slaughtered. And they have to use their guns, but then they have to reload. And that's when the predator uses spears and axes and blades. And his laser targeting system doesn't shoot lasers like it did in Predator 1. It shoots real sort of like crossbow bolts. So they're actually something tangible. They're not like electronic laser beams or anything like that. While this is all going on, Naru figures out how to free herself and her brother from being tied up on a pole, of course, because she's badass. She drops a rock on a bear trap that cuts her bonds, and they go running back to actually the trapper camp because she has to free her dog and get her hatchet with the string attached. She has to get all that back. And there are a couple stray trappers there, and then she goes into full Black Widow mode and starts like doing karate moves on these trappers, and yeah, things get a little shaky cam, and she just turns into Black Widow and just whoops everybody's ass. So I was like, I don't know about that. Then, before she's about to leave, Raphael, that nicer trapper, comes back. His leg is completely off. You can see the bone. It's really nasty. And he's like, help me, help my leg. And he says, if you help me, I will. He has a musket, and I'll show you how to use this musket. I'll give you this musket. So Naru does like heal his leg and gives him a flower. And the flower eases the pain of people that have bad injuries. The Predator does show up, does kill Raphael while Naru is hiding, but Naru can kind of figure out that, oh, eating the flower makes you invisible to the Predator. So I'm not exactly sure how she figured that out, but that's a thing. Kind of like how Dutch put mud all over him to hide from the Predator's thermal sensors. Well, these flowers make you invisible from the Predator as well. All right, so the Predator shows up, and Naru and her brother try to take on the Predator. Naru's brother does a really good job. I thought he almost had it, but then he like stops because he realizes the Predator is right behind him and says, "Bring it on home," to his sister, referencing earlier about the lion when he said, "You tried, but you didn't bring it home." So now he says, it's going to be up to you. You got to bring it home. And then he gets impaled by the Predator. I'm like, just run, dude. If you know it's behind you, just run. I don't know. It's lame. But she's the hero, so we gotta set up Naru. So Naru captures a bad trapper and uses him as bait. So she turns the tables. Now she's going to use a trapper as bait for the Predator. And she's eating her flower, which makes her invisible. So when the Predator goes to kill this bad trapper, Naru sneaks up behind the Predator and shoots it in the head and knocks off his mask with the targeting laser. And she is going to set up a trap, and the Predator will now be the prey. All right, so Naru has set a trap for the Predator, and the Predator shows up, just like Dutch did in the first Predator movie. Naru takes on the Predator a little bit, hand to hand, and actually like kicks his ass, cuts off his arm. But eventually she kind of gets beaten, and the Predator falls into the quicksand that Naru fell into earlier in the film. And Naru is like on her back, and the Predator's in the quicksand, and I don't think, he's not going to sink. And Naru is going like Dutch did in the first Predator movie, do it, do it. Naru wants the Predator to shoot his little laser-guided crossbow bolt at her, okay? Now keep in mind, the Predator does not have the targeting mask. So the Predator does shoot the crossbow bolt at Naru, but Naru already had the targeting mask set up over here on the side with the laser looking at the quicksand pond. So when the Predator shoots the bolt at Naru, the bolt goes, but then turns, follows the laser, and comes back and shoots the Predator. He shoots himself in the head. I picked up something weird in the movie when right before he shoots it, you can see the laser targeting the side of the Predator. And then when the bolt actually enters the Predator's head, the lasers are on the front of the Predator's head. If you guys, check out the movie, let me know. Am I right about that? Didn't they switch where the lasers were? It worked. All right, so the movie ends with Naru walking back to her tribe, and she is carrying the head of the Predator. She brings it back to the tribe. The tribe is celebrating. No one remembers her brother. No one remembers the other dead Comanche. That's okay. They're all celebrating her. It's all about her. She also gives the chief, who might be her dad, I don't know, the musket that Raphael gave her. And you get a close-up of the musket. And it is the same musket that the grayback Predator in Predator 2 gave to Detective Harrigan. Or is it Harrigan? Harrigan, yeah, Detective Harrigan. So that's also the origin story for the Predator 2 musket. All right, so that's it. I guess we need a Prey 2 to figure out how that musket gets from the Chief all the way to the grayback Predator in Predator 2. I can't wait for that. So this movie, it's better than 2018's The Predator. It's a lot better than that. It's better than Alien vs. Predator Requiem. I kind of put this movie with the first Alien vs. Predator movie. Like, it's fine, but it's probably going to be forgettable. This movie does pay homage to the first Predator movie in various ways. I've covered some of them. If it bleeds, we can kill it. Okay. The movie looks great at times. Very, very good at times. I like there's like ash and slow motion falling on the people. They're out in the woods. They're on the prairie. No green screens. So things look good as far as the scenery. Love the setting. You do have shaky cam use at times. You know, when she's in Black Widow mode. I'm not a big fan of that. And sometimes the animals look CG. The movie is very overly sufficiently gory. It's gory. And the Predator looks cool. He's got the bone mask. He's got like long hair. He looks like a demon. Pretty scary. But he's kind of a dumb Predator. He just sort of drops in front of everybody. I like his use of physical, tangible weapons as opposed to lasers. But he's kind of dumb. He's kind of dumb. And he was introduced sort of the wrong way. He should have been a little more mysterious in the beginning. My biggest gripe about this movie is Naru. Now, not the actress. Amber Mid-Thunder is very charismatic and likable. I was on board for her. I do like her, would like to see more of her. But Naru is a typical modern female in a Disney movie. I mean, she's smarter than everybody else. She bosses the dudes around. She's not going to obey orders at all. She's going to misbehave and disobey, and there's going to be no consequences for her, except getting half her tribe killed because she won't listen. In fact, there wouldn't be a plot here if she just simply listened and stayed home. The Predator might have just left them all alone. But yeah, I don't know. I was more worried about the dog. All right, so I think Prey had a lot of potential but falls short because of too much girl power. Imagine that. We've seen that before and we're seeing it again. She's too much like Rey Skywalker and not enough like Ripley or Sarah Connor. She didn't have to go through hell to become this badass we're shown or told she is. I mean, in the beginning of the film, we're told she's the best tracker, the best medic. Okay. Then we're shown that she can beat up the male Comanche warriors. It takes several to restrain her. You're like, oh, I don't know about that. And then she goes into the French trapper camp like Black Widow and whoops everybody's ass. It's kind of hard to believe. I don't know. A lot of the men here are nerfed in Prey. I recommend watching it, but if you're a Predator fan, and I think this movie is just going to be another forgettable Predator movie in the end. I don't know. What did you guys think about Prey? Let me know in the comments. And what is your favorite Predator movie after Predator 1? Let me know where the Predator movies rank, because I'm not exactly sure I've made up my mind. This is a middle-of-the-pack Predator movie. There are much worse Predator movies. So watch it, enjoy it, and then forget about it, just like I'm going to do. All right. Everybody have a great day, a great night, a great weekend. I will see you soon. Thanks for watching. And as always, I will see you on the new.